Honestly, that I didn't even realize like that Deusgod is a guy that takes music. Like that is, if people want to talk about the quote unquote Montreal problem, it's lack of information. It's that people just don't know what exists. Because like there's just so much shit that exists here, and so much of it's wonderful, but like nobody knows. So DJ Smokey gets 15 people in a room, or Locksmith gets 15 people in a room, probably because nobody knew the shit was happening.
Yeah, well, we also, I mean, to an extent, is a lot of people here like, well, on the English side, because I only know the English
Yo,
like
yeah,
side of
that's
the
a
culture.
great caveat for the rest of this
Yeah,
conversation. Anglo side, because I don't know shit
yeah,
all either.
because I don't know about the French. Like, I know the French side is popping, and it's been popping. Must have always been popping. It has to be.
Grab
It,
money.
they always like they're doing good, but for our side, like a lot of motherfuckers don't care, bro. Like they're just gonna listen to like, bro, like, and it makes sense. I understand it because, for instance, like last year is when I finally discovered like, yo, I really like reggae music that comes out of London. But I used to think I hated it, but like I love it now. And it's it's not that I hated it before. It was just this kind of thought that I was like, if I'm gonna listen to it, just listen to it from Jamaica. You understand? Why am I gonna listen to it from London? So it's the same kind of thought process that people probably have here. It's like, if you're gonna listen to hip hop, let's just do it from the states, dog. Like it's from the states. Let's just do it from the states. Why are you gonna listen to it from here? But yo, these guys here are documenting what's going on here. They're not talking about, you know what I mean? It's a different story. So when you listen to what the music that's coming out of here, it sounds different. Like we even have a different slang.
Yo,
Like
I discovered for the first time about a month ago that I have a typical Montreal accent, and I'm like, there's a fucking accent. We have
yeah, of
accents
course.
here. I'm like, the fuck? So I'm looking on the Reddit, and they're like, Toronto people say it like this, and Montreal people. I'm like, the fuck's a bagel? I'm like, that's not how you say that shit. I'm like, I'm like,
Now
okay.
everybody has a slang. Everybody's got like if you go to Toronto, yo, listen, where do you go and buy your beer at? Or
Yeah,
your
the
or your
depth, man.
smokes?
The depth.
Right, exactly. You
Yeah, but you don't
understand?
like think about it like that. You don't think, or like a set. You know, it didn't even click
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't even
You
click
understand?
that. That's because it's the French word for seven.
Yes,
But no,
yes.
for the longest time, I just thought it was a 3-5 in a set, and like that was the whole fucking world. And then I
That's
was
it.
like,
That's just all. But no, that's how it goes. That is how we are. We literally have our own thing. So when you listen to what's being said here, there's a different value. It's, I don't know, it's really dope.
so then
But a
that
lot of
goes.
people just
It's
don't
that.
care.
It's that education shit, my guy. Like, here's the thing: a lot of people don't care, and I include myself in this, right? Like, his the longer I do these interviews and go on this educational journey of Montreal history, the more I take pride in the city. The more it's like, yo, I have
Mhm.
to wear the Montreal hat because if I'm not repping my city, the fuck, because like
Got the new regime, new regime.
I like, I went on this like mission to like add people from Montreal to a playlist, and I started listening to it, and I realized like 90% of it came out in the last year, and 90% of it I find dope. Okay, a couple whites here and there. But like the fact that like I can basically bump this shit on shuffle random and it's like 200 songs from Montreal is like that's my city and it sounds so different. It's everything. It's like
Yeah,
this rich blend, and you as getting music must see that like how rich like everybody's like good. Like
yeah. There's a lot of talent, and like everybody from every different section sound real different. Like you look at like Clan of the ENT folk, we don't sound like each other. Number one, and number two, we don't sound like anybody else from the other side of the bridge, let alone specific boroughs on the other side of the bridge. And them boroughs all sound different from each other. There's some boroughs that will sound more boom bapish, and others that will sound more like southernish, and others that will like. And there's some that have like different slang. Like some will actually have kind of like a Creole slang more so than like a like 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 patois slang. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't
Dude,
know. It's
this is
weird.
amazing. No, this is great, dude. Cause yo, nobody like I think really talks about this shit, right? Everyone instead, and this is where it frustrates me. Like yo, I'm the best one doing the best things, and you hear it like time and time again. I'm the first one to do this. And I'm like, yo, but like the stats are there. We just don't have
Yeah,
them.
there got to be somebody. And if there wasn't, then there's got to be a reason why you did
And
it.
and yo, and I'm gonna say that it's like as time goes on, I feel like I keep hearing my new favorite songs, and I keep hearing this new music, and it's like it just gets better, and more people just sound better, and it's like yo, it's amazing. And like I realize there's that like I've somehow found 20 producers from Montreal in the last 4 months, and I'm like yo, how many producers are there? It's got to be hundreds, if not thousands, of people making beats in the city. How many DJs are
Unreal.
there?
It's
It's got,
unreal. I don't know how. Honestly, the DJs I don't even count a lot of them because like I really base it on who's playing anything from Montreal, and most of the DJs down here don't play Montreal music. Like that's just a fact. Like the ones who do are producers and they play their own beats, and that's completely fine. I count that. You know what I mean? I count you as a DJ. But the rest, like, if they're just playing like out of town music all the time, I don't count that because like I personally like, and it's not like any like a real DJ did it, but like I find the job is to like put somebody onto something. If I wanted to go out and hear a playlist, like I, you know what I mean, I would have just like stayed home and listened to a playlist. But I'm trying to hear something that people are gonna put me onto that's gonna make me say, oh snap, and that's from here. Oh, it's not from here. Oh, it's from Ottawa, Toronto. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say okay, damn, like it's gonna make you like my favorite thing was going home at the end. Yo, how many times has this happened? Now we go home at the end of the night and be like, yo, remember this tune, dog. Remember this phrase. Remember this phrase.
Yeah.
And it would be a sentence that was in the hook. And I'll be like, we have to remember this because that's a big tune. And I never seen people react to the tune like that. And like,
hold up.
you know,
Stop. I never seen people react to the tune. That's a big one. Only the DJ people
yeah,
talk like that.
yeah. I've never seen that before, you know, and that's what makes you say, you know, the DJ killed it because you got a reaction off a track that it's not popping like that. We don't know it. So you remember that one phrase and you say, okay, let me go home and remember that. Dog. Bare mornings I've woken up hungover, searching for a song, dog. Find it. Yes.
No, it's really okay. Why I got really excited at that point is a little bit because I love your passion and your quest for it. But something I didn't realize is a way to like kind of tell that your music is bumping or not is to physically not. So watch how people react to it in a literal way. Like sometimes you want people to be like, and sometimes you really don't want that. And you gotta like actually really, cause yo, if you send the person a song over to yo bump my shit and you can't see that, you're probably like not gonna get the actual valuables that you need off of that situation that words aren't gonna convey unless you ask the right questions.
Well, I mean, there's no way to really tell because I mean, I don't know. It's I can't even find an analogy to even compare it to. It's like I could show you a track right now, and even if you lost your shit, like even if you lost your mind, and you were like, "Whoa!" and you like went to them bookcases and knocked it over, like, "Bam! This is the greatest track I ever heard." Like, even if you did that, bro, like I could show it to another person, and they might not feel it. Like it's just one individual. It
But I
doesn't
guess
show
the DJ gets a room, so you get a better stat pool.
you get the whole thing like